Zico, how's it going?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good.
This is another episode of Broken Bear Conversations. New episode and also a new
year episode. It's a big difference. The year
New
starting
year.
this year off.
Yeah.
This is an important episode. Very important.
And we also got 2 mics too.
Yeah, 2 mics. We're upgrading. Look at this.
We're not just sharing a mic.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get started, real quick.
Turn that shit
Yeah,
up.
ignore that in the sound. But Broken Bear Conversations, we're on everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, also Apple Podcasts as well. I added that.
Apple Podcast. All right,
Yeah,
I know that.
so that's another not streaming, but another place if you prefer that instead of Spotify.
Sponsor in the future.
Yeah,
Oh.
maybe, who knows? But yeah, we got a nice little setup. We got 2 mics now, which is nice.
Yes.
Funny thing is, we've always had 2 mics. It's just I wasn't able to. I'm recording on a Mac and it has like 2 ports.
Yeah, live and learn.
Yeah, so I had to like get an adapter and stuff. But yeah,
That works.
yeah, we're good now.
Good job, Mrs. Zico.
Thank you. But yeah, we're it's a new year, 2023.
2023, which man, that's gonna be something getting used to.
Is crazy to think
Yeah.
about, you know.
23.
I kind of want to talk about one thing that's
All right. One thing.
like a difference between like older and younger people is that, well, not. I kind of
What's
worded
the age
that.
range?
I worded that weird,
What's the
but,
age range?
but I know that the older you get, time feels like it's going by faster, right? Is that how you feel?
I will say it depends because our first half a year here, it felt like I was here for 4 years, man.
What?
I don't know because I guess moving and transitioning from like one whole house to like an apartment, all that stuff, you know, trying to find certain jobs, a lot of things going on. I think small things I don't know, it was weird. And then when we got to this apartment, time flew by. Like before I know it's already January.
Really?
We got here in February.
Really?
You know, and just like that first month, it felt like I was in Seattle it felt like a couple of years.
That's interesting.
It is crazy.
That's interesting.
I think it's just so much stuff going on.
Well, besides just this one specific year,
Yeah.
would you say in general, as the years go by, do you think they're going by faster?
That's where I would normally say yes. Probably I kind of agree. I think it's just when you're enjoying your life,
Yeah.
time does fly by. I feel like that goes on. When it's stressful, that's why I brought that one part up. I really feel like that was the reason why I felt like it was going slower. And maybe you have to do something with being younger or older, but think about when you're younger, things are stressful. You're having to try to start everything new. You're trying to get established in what you want to be.
Yeah.
Usually people that are older, they've been established.
Yeah.
So they're enjoying their life more. They don't
Yeah.
have to do all that hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
They shouldn't anyway as
Yeah,
they get
yeah.
older.
Yeah.
So they have time to relax and enjoy the finer things in
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
I think that's why it might feel like it goes faster because you get lost and you're having fun sometimes throughout the day and you forget that this world is also going through problems.
Yeah.
You know, that fun.
I mean, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like especially after getting out of high school, the years have been going by really fast.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I'm already 22, I'm turning 23 this year. I know that's very young, but like just thinking about like, I was 18 just almost like 5 years ago. And it's like, damn, now I'm technically an adult, you know, I got some bills, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's just crazy, you know. And then like each year that passes, it just feels like it just went by even faster.
Yeah, and you
than-
still feel the
than
same
last.
age.
Yeah, yeah.
I still feel like a high school
I
kid
do,
a little
I
bit.
do.
I don't think it goes away because there's even a song by I'll bring in this band from Dallas, Children of Indigo, 2 L's, phenomenal. I will keep throwing my support out there for them. I hope they become a phenomenal, amazing, established forever. Anyway, Children of Indigo.
Okay.
They have a song called 17, and it talks about that they're always fucking 17. He's going on his 3rd decade, and he's still fucking 17.
I like that.
Yeah, which
like
is
that.
good. Children of Indigo, 2 L's. Check them out. They'll change your life. I promise. But Children of Indigo, that song kind of reminds me. It is true. We were always gonna be we feel like it won't be like that, but you're always gonna still feel like this version of you. You're never gonna learn enough. You're still gonna feel like that scared self. As much as I will say it'll be different. Even if you have a kid, it's almost the same thing. I don't have a kid yet, but I guarantee it. I'm always gonna feel no matter how prepared I might be. I don't think you ever can be prepared for things in life, you know. But you're always gonna feel like that scared 17-year-old, you know. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. That's good though, because I feel like a lot of people when they get older, kind of like put up this facade or front that they're
100%.
kind of like mature adult.
Yeah.
But I think that no matter what, you're still like a kid on the inside, you know.
Embrace it. Be an inner child.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay to enjoy doing kid shit and fun stuff. You
Yeah.
know, we act like it's you can't. You have to be this adult. I'm like, it's okay, let go.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay.
It's okay to have
Fuck,
fun.
man, I like SpongeBob. I enjoy
I
watching
do,
that sometimes. You know,
That's what's interesting too, because like I would say now it's a lot
Yeah.
more acceptable to like SpongeBob or cartoons
It is,
or
yeah.
like anime, for example. But like back then, you kind of get made fun of it.
You
know?
did.
And but it's funny because I bet you everybody liked it, but they just
They
kept
did.
it on the inside.
That's
and
yeah.
they didn't say anything until the internet came, and
It's
then they
true.
finally.
Internet changed
Yeah.
the world because we all became connected.
Yeah.
So even when people are trying to be fake, I'm like, no, you're not. I saw you on that website,
Yeah,
motherfucker. Look at you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't like that.
Exactly.
And that's the truth. That's what that's what the good and bad about everything being out there and what's being connected. You know, that's the positive to it.
Yeah.
Is it helps. I think if you're willing to be open and grow and not being afraid to be yourself.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a positive that with that the knowledge that's out there now, we have so much access to. It's pretty cool.
Well, speaking of growing, what are your New Year's resolutions? 'Cause usually, the resolutions have to do with growing. You know,
They do.
Making some sort of change in your life.
So mine right now is I do not want to have porn in my life as much. That's one of my new resolutions.
I did not expect that.
Hey man, that's what's it?
Damn, man. Okay.
Porn, it's like it can be good, but also it can become like an addiction as like stuff. And I am, as you know, asexual. But
I was gonna ask. I'm like, how does that work?
So it's different. Like just because I'm asexual doesn't mean I don't mind looking at things and still be attracted to things. It's more like the active activity of sex is where I lose interest usually. Even though I am married and I have a wife and we do have an active sex life, it's just the urge is not as present as it should be. I don't think in me. That's what I think
crazy.
is. It is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was really fucked up and weird for a long time until like I said, the internet. You get exposed to so much more knowledge, and I'm like, oh, I'm asexual.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why I am how I am. Never understood that. If it wasn't for the internet and being exposed to different stuff, I never would have known that. I probably would have been more bitter and more upset and not know why.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it can be helpful. But also the town, the area I'm in, who's around me, in Texas in a small town.
Yeah.
People are gonna talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, they're probably not educated.
No, if it wasn't for internet, I would never have been exposed to anything different.
So, if you don't mind me asking, since you're asexual, you don't have the urge.
No,
but you.
It's still there. It's just not
watch.
It's the urge is there. That's the difference.
Is it?
So even though I'm asexual, I still have urges and thoughts and desires.
Okay.
It's just more. I would say I have a control over it. Like I feel it, but it doesn't consume me or control me. Like, oh, I gotta get. And I was like, okay. I feel it. I'm like, you know what? I might want to do that. But then I'm like, I don't really. If I don't, then it doesn't matter. Like it's.
So you have the urge, but it's probably not as strong as like the regular guy or something.
And again, with porn, it's different. I was exposed to porn at a very young age, so I always had like I think it was like 7, 6.
Me too.
Yeah, I just found a magazine. I was like, what the fuck is this? And that also made me ponder like what is when I didn't know anything about gay. Of course, I grew up in that culture in the '90s where it was it was a wrong thing to be. And as I got older, I started understanding, and when you try to understand, because I grew up kind of in a religious family, but that helped me understand like, well, I didn't remember choosing to like girls at one point. I just remember seeing tits, and I was like, what is that? That looks good. But then I'm like, I don't remember deciding that. Like I was there with like, so that made me understand like, well, if someone decides they like that, that's how they felt. That's how they always felt. I don't remember choosing. No, I have to like this because this is what I'm supposed to choose. That helped me understand understanding of gayness and non-gayness. What that is as a kid. What I was trying to understand of that back then. But asexuality was never talked about. I never heard anybody say that word until I was an adult, really. But that's kind of how you grow up.
Interesting. That's really interesting.
So,
I did not expect you to have that as a resolution.
Well, it's just because I feel like even porn can be enjoyable, but it's also it can consume you a little bit if you start looking at it. All of a sudden, I see it can pull you down in an area where I feel like I'm still not have a healed connection with it. Some of that's because of religious trauma. How they treat sex. Growing up with that. A lot of things could have factored into my asexuality. I don't know if I was born that way or if that's how I became that because of society.
Really?
No, because I remember always liking women, but what does the church teach? Abstinence, all that stuff. But I was so antisocial as a child that even that never. So the urge wasn't really as strong in me as it should have been. I don't think.
So you think
I think it's possible. I don't know if that's
Okay.
true. I think it's a possibility.
Cause that kind of blew my mind when you said that just now.
Yeah.
Because I assumed that type of mental thing, asexuality, I thought you would be born with that.
And that's still a possibility. That
Mhm. You're
easily
just
could
not
have
sure.
happened. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's like with my childhood, I know I obviously am attracted to women,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I was
yeah.
when I try to understand that, but it didn't until I was older. I didn't see like wasn't pulled to go all these bars and
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff. I'm like chasing for what? I'd
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
it to be more meaningful.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
didn't make sense the other way,
Okay.
but it was more. It wasn't consumed by that. I think a majority of people, it's like it's pretty on their mind most of the time.
I would say average guy, they don't have to be connected emotionally. They could just do it
Yeah.
off the physical.
And I think about sex still. I
Yeah.
think pretty a lot. You know,
Yeah.
I still think about it. I think like the average person.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I
Oh.
still think about it.
Oh.
It's just more that urge, the desire.
Yeah.
That's what's not as existent. I don't know. That again, I could have been my childhood trauma. I honestly don't remember
That's
as much as
crazy.
my childhood.
That's crazy.
So I know being exposed to porn at a young age that can, I'm sure, have an effect.
Yeah.
But also religion mixed in there that can have an
Yeah.
effect as well. So I don't know if that caused me to be more inward with my sexuality.
Yeah, just
And-
knowing your past, I guess it seems
Yeah.
like a lot of factors could.
It is a
affected
lot of things. It's
lithium.
everything.
Who knows?
I mean, I was on pills because I'm a hyperness,
Yeah.
ADHD, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like mine. I can be very uncontrollable.
Yeah.
And I would act impulsively. I was a pretty crazy little kid. It's hard
Yeah.
for me to settle down.
Yeah.
But lithium probably wasn't the best choice
Yeah.
for me to be in control of myself. But
Yeah, just some context. Josh is a little older, so his generation was the generation that
I was born in
tested.
'87.
Yeah, they tested all the medications on you
Yeah.
guys.
They did.
Unfortunately.
And I was one of those kids where I actually had allergic reaction to Ritalin. It affected my
Oh,
liver. Yeah, Ritalin
Oh,
affected
yeah.
my liver, so I couldn't take that anymore. It was making me pretty sick. I know a lot of the different ones I was on. I don't remember the names anymore.
Adderall?
Adderall.
You were on that?
I was on that. I was on pretty much all ones you can think of. I was on. Some of them made me break out in hives. I was just like, the doctor just said, well, let's see what this one does after a couple months. So I was on that.
Yeah.
And they would all have like effects on my personality. I would be more withdrawn.
Yeah,
Some of them
yeah,
I'd be super hyper. It did the opposite effect. Maybe where I was just moving around, running around. I was just in nowhere control of myself. And then some, I just didn't talk. It just made me so quiet.
Really?
And lithium was the worst, man. That thing, it made me. I was so sedated.
That's crazy. Yeah, you're for real just a test subject.
Yeah,
so
no, I was.
They're trying to see what affects you this way and what affects you this way.
Like in 10th grade, I stopped taking for a little bit, and then
How long were you on all these stuff?
All the way till 10th grade. Starting from it's probably 8 years old, maybe 7.
Damn.
It could have been earlier. I'm not sure.
So that's like a good at least 6 years.
At least, yeah. And
10th
it's
grade is like 16, I think.
I remember the last time I took was in 11th grade. That's when I was on some again, and then I was like, after that, I'm like, I like being in control of myself. And I didn't like the way pills will affect you. There's the positives it'll help, but then there's also make you like severely depressed sometimes. So it's like I don't like depending on something that has control over me. Like if I don't have to have this pill, which because I might be suffering from depression or whatever, if this pill is the one thing that can help me, what happens if I run out? Then I'm fucked. If I don't have control of that, if that pill is the only thing helping me, I'm not gonna make it through. So that taught me when I was like, all right, I don't want to have this dependency. I don't like that. I want to be able to conquer my own fucking demons instead of have something put a fucking band-aid over it.
No, I get what you're saying. So how did you end up getting off of it? Like, was it out of your own choice?
I stopped
or was
taking
it your
it.
parents?
No, my mom catch. I just stopped taking it at school.
Oh, you just stopped taking
it?
Oh.
I would just they would give them to me and
Cold
I would take it. Yeah, I just stopped. Yeah.
What did you feel any withdrawals? Because you seem to be on a bunch of medication.
Well,
if you just stopped taking it.
Some of them, to more context, I do have anger problems and some depression problems I did when I was younger. So I was probably on different medications. Some were for hyperness, some were for different anger things. I've had a few different episodes when I was younger where I've been kicked out of school different times. So it's like there was reasons for it. But not as much so where you need to be like a guinea pig. And I think it's just, again, it was the 90s and early 2000s when it was kind of open like that.
So no withdrawals?
No withdrawals that I knew. I mean, I know some of them made me gain weight, so I started losing all my weight pretty fast. I have a fast metabolism. But yeah, well, that didn't start kicking in until when I started gaining weight again until in my 30s. Once I turned 30, my metabolism kind of stopped. But I also never work out. If I started working out, it might revamp it a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't really see anything major. Maybe I felt more energy in me. I felt energy come back, and I always feel like I'm always on Red Bull. Usually, like
Really?
I wake up, I'm full of energy. I wish I could control it a little
this
bit.
day, you still
Yeah,
feel-
it's still there. Like I'm always wake up full of energy.
That's
no matter
crazy.
what's going on?
You don't like that?
Well,
I feel like that's a good
it's
thing.
it's good, but also it can kind of give me anxiety if I don't do anything with it. Like sometimes I'll have it, and then if I have to do a job where I have to be still,
Yeah.
I can kind of get a little fidgety.
Yeah. Okay.
You see me at work, sometimes I'll start
yeah.
fidgeting.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like I don't want to do this. I gotta be
Okay,
active.
okay,
I need to keep
okay.
doing something.
Okay,
Otherwise,
I see.
it's hard for me to sit still.
So you don't. I know you don't like working
I
out.
don't like working
but
out.
That might be a good way to
no,
get
it
it
is.
out, and at the same time, it's healthy.
Well, eventually I'm gonna start probably. We have a gym here with a little punch bag, and I think I might.
Oh yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
about
fuck
that.
around with that. It's just getting the.
That sounds fun.
Like I say, like lack of motivation, man. It
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be very
yeah,
dire. It's
yeah.
it's a.
Maybe do you think that is that
There's a lot
on
of
your
yeah.
resolution list working out?
That is. That was my other one. I was like, I
Okay.
need to start working out more. So I want to try to just go like I know it takes like what 28 days to break a habit. Or 20
Yeah.
something like so. I
Break
want to try
and
to do
start.
at least this month. There ain't no porn. I want to try to at least separate enough so I can at least build up a balance. I think everything you got to have a healthy balance. And I think with porn, I've never really had that separation. I don't think I've ever not looked at porn since I was a child. My entire life, not looked at porn.
Wow.
So it's like that's a long fucking time, you know. I know I look at it just always, get off. Sometimes
I
I'll
don't know
just-
why I'm so surprised because
Yeah.
that's like every guy. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's like, but to me, like that's not control. I don't
Yeah.
have control over that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's when again, this is also stuff after TNT and shit. Like usually when I smoke weed, I'll just start realizing stuff. I'm like, oh fuck, that's a pattern. I gotta have
That's
control
good.
over.
That's good.
Well, I'm always trying to better myself.
You're like one of the only people I know who use weed to work through things. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I do use it also just to escape.
Get
That's
high,
fun.
yeah.
But also, I want to be a better version
Yeah.
of me, so I want to be the point where I'm gonna enjoy the later part of my life where I ain't gotta do shit. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be stressing and working. If I am working, it's
Yeah.
doing something I fucking love. I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid properly for what I owed for what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Which I know people have that life,
Yeah.
but it's like you can find it, and I know it's out there. The only way I know how to get that is to fix whatever these clicks that I found myself into by accident.
Clicks.
The mic, yeah, like those patterns, those
Oh,
ripples
okay.
that we talked about.
When
where
I hear
you can,
click, I think of like a group.
yeah,
Yeah.
the same thing.
Oh, that's
Group,
what-
that's a ripple. Like that, a group could be a click, and it could be
Okay.
a bad click, good click.
Yeah.
You just got to be more aware. Like, what does this click to you? Is it important? Is it gonna help me? I don't know.
Okay.
Figure it out, and then like I'm just trying to figure out how to be this version where I can at least get through life and whatever it might happen. Because it's dumb of us to think the world's always gonna be the same as
Yeah.
we know it.
No, it's
But
it's constantly changing.
It is, and
Every
we
day.
gotta learn how to adapt to it.
Yeah.
But you have to not be rigid, so
Yeah.
you have to learn to adapt because we tend to get stuck in our little this version of what we like, and that's how it's supposed to be. But no, man, this world's changing. It's changing quick. Who knows what's gonna be in the next 10 years?
I know. Like,
So it's like
we see a lot happen in 1 year.
Yeah.
10 years is kind of hard to think about.
it is.
But yeah.
It-
Any other resolutions?
So
Besides
those are the main two. Is
Okay.
I want to try to work that. I think that will help me more mentally and
Yeah.
spiritually,
Yeah.
physically,
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And that's what my main focus is. And I'm trying to not do too many, just aim small, miss small.
Okay.
And the only third one is just I would say just try like all that my energy, how it is, how I'm using it, just trying to have it more of a narrow focus. So trying to limit like I don't want to spread myself too thin in my daily habits. And sometimes they can be it's small habits if you have too many of them, just like fucking subscriptions
Yeah.
to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a small habit doing this, but if you look at them all on a scale, these smaller habits you're doing,
Yeah.
half of them you don't need to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm trying to minimize. I'm trying to learn how to get more still, so I have more control of all these little fucking ripples I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't realize it. Like, it's all about balance, and I'm trying to learn how to really cultivate this balance in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my main three.
I think
So-
narrowing your focus will help you out a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I
really
made
believe
a little TikTok/reel about that. It actually did well. So I
Oh,
think
right.
a lot of people agree
Shit, I
with
might
it
check
too.
that out.
Yeah, because that's 100% true. If
Yeah.
you have too many things, too many goals or hobbies or interests or passions you're trying to attack,
Yeah, it's
you're never
too much.
gonna
No.
be successful.
That was the
you know?
story of most of my life, man.
Yeah, you gotta really narrow your focus and pick one. And
Dude.
I think you're making good steps towards that.
Yeah.
You told me off camera how you just bought a video
Yeah.
equipment thing. So So that's cool, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to just figure out like, all right, I like these different things, but like, how can I turn this into something where I can make money for myself?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is this possible? It's good to have hobbies and good to have things that you're passionate about, but it's also like your time is being used up, and how do you want your time being used
Yeah.
up? And most of it gets ate up by usually a shitty job
Yeah.
that most people don't like doing.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but it's like, it was just, what do you want in your life? If that's what you want, then that's fine. You just got to find what you want, you're passionate about, and it'd be cool to get paid what you're worth and what you're getting a desire to do or passion to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. But what are your resolutions? Does that kind of fall in line similar to the?
Yeah, I do kind of have pretty much similar to you.
Okay.
Kind of related to like your porn thing. For me, I want to look less at Instagram, because on Instagram there's a lot of women on there, and I'm kind of getting not overwhelmed, but overstimulated.
That's the
Yeah,
same word I was trying to
yeah.
say. Overstimulated.
Mhm, mhm.
I'm trying to find that balance.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just find that
Yeah.
balance in life.
So that same way that you have your resolution that you're working on. Me, I'm just not gonna look at Instagram as much, because overstimulated, and I'm getting like desensitized in a way, and I want to be a better boyfriend to my girlfriend,
Yeah.
I want to treat her, I want my attention on her more so that's a big one. Also working out and eating more. I really want to work on my physical health.
Yeah.
And also, I remember you were talking about like rigidness, stubbornness. I really want to work on that for myself too.
Yeah.
Because I have this thing where I really don't like it when I feel like someone's telling me what to do in a way. And it's not anything against them. It's just like, I guess,
It's
my
like
own ego.
yeah.
Just me
He's
feeling like,
no.
exactly, like, who are you to tell
Yeah.
me? It's like, you don't know nothing.
Yeah, it's hard when that thing starts creeping
Yeah.
up. You gotta learn how to. Hey, wait a second, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta like be conscious in a way and just like actively be like, no, you gotta like open your mind and listen to people.
It's hard to be in that constant state of being
Yeah.
aware of yourself when you're even having these random thoughts.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just throw thoughts, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're like, wait, why am I thinking this? What is this?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's ain't small, miss small. It's a little step.
And listen better too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have a tendency to interrupt when people are talking.
Ditto.
Yeah.
For me.
The reason why I interrupt a lot is because I'm kind of impatient, and I'm like, let's get to the point of this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're kind of going everywhere. Let's get to the point. So I'm just trying to finish their sentence. And also, it's also that I thought about something I want to talk about.
Yeah, he's like, let me say what I want to say.
So I want to talk about what I'm talking about.
You're listening to response.
Exactly. I'm not
yeah.
talking to talk to you. I'm more so waiting for my turn.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to really work on that.
I think a lot of us all fall into that same
Yeah.
category. It's because we're excited to talk. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also think about it's hard to pull yourself back about the conversation
Yeah.
and hearing and listening. I do struggle with that too.
Yeah.
I want to try to listen better. Sometimes people just need an ear
Yeah.
versus a conversation.
They do.
That's a lesson I'm still learning to this day. I'm a
they
talker
do.
as well. I don't
You're
mean
a
to.
talker. You're definitely
I'm
a
hyper as fuck,
talker.
man.
You're definitely a talker.
Give me some good indicas, man. I'll be quiet as fuck. I'm like,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
I'm like,
I can't imagine that.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. It has to be. That's why I gotta find those good strains. That balance. You gotta
Yeah.
find that balance.
Everything is balanced. Honestly, everything is balanced.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's a good lesson. I'm still learning. And
Yeah.
it's like, but no, I think that's good. You're having that separation and trying to find a way to narrow who you are and to where you come out, and it's just this, and that's like it's that little fucking hole that we're trying to squeeze through, which is hard, but it's like that little filter that has to filter all this other stuff, this negativity, because I really feel like having that response where all of your shit's always positive coming out of you, that can't be, that has to have there's gotta an equal opposite reaction. There's gotta be a reaction out of that.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're only letting out a positive information, even that way your eventually your thoughts will just be positive. I really feel like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
it's kind of like brainwashing
it
yourself.
is, yeah, and that's what it is. It's trying to I'm trying to learn how to relearn all the stuff that I learned as a child.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many things I was lacking, which is all these different little emotional tools, or just tools just to survive in life in general that I wasn't given, that a parent's job is supposed to have.
I like how you said relearn.
Yeah.
Because I agree with that. I think becoming an adult is a big part of it. It's just relearning everything you learned as a kid that was wrong.
So I'm just now
And
finally
adjusting to
getting my pull-ups on.
Yeah,
you know, so
yeah.
fucking first time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're fortunate enough to have a good family growing up,
Yeah.
then you're kind of ahead of everybody because
It
you
does
don't
help.
have to like repair anything.
Yeah.
But most people don't grow up with the best family, so they end up having to repair a lot of trauma and relearn a lot of things and stuff like that.
Well, it's
you know?
like having parents that aren't ready to be parents. It has a big
Yeah,
effect. Like,
yeah.
could you imagine having a kid right now? And that
Oh
shit
man, I
straight?
cannot, man.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I think about people
Yeah.
in high school that have kids. You
Yeah.
know? It's a kid raising a kid.
It's hard.
You know, that's crazy.
At least it's just that one. You probably can still do it, but some people have like 3 or 4 by the time they're like 28.
Oh man.
My dad was one of those people. Like
Really?
I was his 4th child, and he was only in his 30s.
What?
He was like
wow.
he had to have me when he was like in his late 20s, early 30s.
That's crazy.
Because he was like in his late 40s when I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
an
yeah.
adult.
That's crazy.
It's pretty crazy, and I was like, wow, I'm his 4th child, and he's still not ready to be a father.
Are you the youngest?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Oh,
yeah.
you're the youngest.
I am
Oh,
the
shit.
youngest. I am the baby.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. All that stuff that went along with being a baby.
Oh, that's
you know?
crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't get any baby vibes.
Oh,
from
that's
you,
good.
You know,
Well, hey, that's
because usually
that's
the
good.
baby of the family is like the spoiled one. But at least from what I've seen.
No, they usually
Yeah.
are, and in my brother's eyes,
Yeah.
I probably still was
Yeah,
spoiled
yeah.
to an extent, but also I think I was more favored from my dad because I tend to be also more like him, like my older brother was.
Really.
But my other brother, he was the middle child. He was not as similar. He kind of grew up a little different. I don't know how he was so different, but
How are you similar?
I was good at sports,
Oh,
even
really?
though I don't really like sports. I was really good at them. I enjoyed. My dad likes arrowhead hunting. You know what that is? Like you
No,
find
what's
Native
that?
American artifacts. When I was a little kid, we used to walk around on farmland and get little heads of like arrows. It could just be different artifacts you might find out there. Anyway, as a kid, I
Or
would
they're
do
just
stuff like
laying
that.
around?
Yeah, they will like when especially when a farmer churns up where they're gonna
Uh-huh.
plant something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the stuff's just on the ground, just
Oh
laying
wow,
there.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's yeah.
Arrowheads?
People pick it up arrowheads. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're probably everywhere out here, man.
Really?
It's-
I've
yeah.
never seen that arrowhead. Like from a bow and arrow, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're talking. What?
Yeah, some were like thousands of years old, some were a couple hundred.
Damn.
It depends on like the tribe that was there in the areas,
Yeah.
and that's how they can tell how they can date it because they kind of cycle through, and
Yeah.
so like some will go back thousands of years, some will go back just a few hundred.
That's crazy.
And it just depends on the way they're made.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's pretty interesting. Yeah, my aunt like found a bracelet. I still have it, man.
bracelet?
Yeah, a silver bracelet.
Like a
It was
Native
like
American?
a Native American silver
Wow.
bracelet. I think it's Navajo, but I don't know for sure anymore. I was trying to research it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's just like a handmade bracelet. It has like a little story on it. It tells like
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Damn. All right.
it's like
Texas,
stuff.
Texas got
Sidetrack.
you got buried cars and you got arrowheads everywhere. So-
Yeah, hey man, it's there's a lot of great stuff everywhere. It's
Yeah.
life, and we just build on top. And
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Sidetrack. What were we talking
I
about?
don't know, man.
I got lost in
No.
conversation.
I don't know. I completely forgot. I think we were talking
Ugh.
about we're talking about New Year's resolutions and then balance.
Yeah, but I think we went off track and started talking about something
I
else.
feel like that's our whole podcast, just going off track.
Yeah. Oh, I was talking about my child. Yeah, no, I was just good at sports and
You were
like
good at sports?
and my brother James wasn't. I remember
How
my,
many siblings do you have?
2 brothers, 1 sister, so 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I don't get baby vibes from you because usually,
Yeah.
like I said, they're like the spoiled ones, and usually like the older ones are kind of like more independent and stuff because they have to like raise the younger ones.
Well,
So I thought you were one of the older ones.
yeah, I
You
think
seem
it's
more independent.
I think it's because like parents divorced at a young age and mom had to work
Ah.
2 jobs kind of to cover a lot of stuff, so she wasn't
Ah.
home as much.
I see.
So I had to, and my brothers didn't like raising me.
Ah,
You know, not
really?
only raising me, but they had to watch me sometimes, and they didn't like doing that
Yeah.
because they're both older.
Yeah.
And my other brother that would stay there sometimes, he's 7 years older than me, so he was a proper teenager.
Yeah.
So they kind of taught me to cook and then left me alone.
Oh wow.
So,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I learned how to cook and do different things, which is good.
How do you
Now-
feel about that? The fact that you have
Um,
kind of an independent upbringing.
I don't mind it, like because I hung out with them. So when they went
Yeah.
somewhere, I went somewhere with them.
Okay,
You
okay.
know, but I don't really. I enjoyed my childhood. '90s childhood was great.
Yeah.
You know, I used to disappear on my bike and come back, and it'd be like
Yeah.
dark. That's
Yeah.
when I come back home.
I used to
I'd
do
be
that.
gone throughout all the time.
We used to do
Loved
that
it.
as kids too.
Yes, early the '90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah,
that was the.
I'm like in between.
Mhm.
I think my generation was definitely like the last generation.
You were.
that had that kind of childhood.
Dude, now
you know?
everybody grows up and it's just like you have
Fortnite.
everything accessible, man.
You're playing Fortnite. You know Fortnite?
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
played it, but no, I know it.
Now instead of going out riding bikes, they're all hopping on PlayStation playing
Yeah,
Fortnite.
playing Fortnite, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely in between because I had the childhood where I grew up in a neighborhood where you can like knock on your friend's door, ask them to hang if they can come outside and hang out.
Yeah.
And then as I got a little bit older and went to middle school, that's when I started gaming and playing like Minecraft with my friends. So I had both. I had the '90s childhood, and I had this new Gen Z childhood of like gaming with your
Yeah,
friends.
it was like in the early part of YouTube started
Yeah.
forming and all these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Man, you're at the.
I seen it. I seen
Yeah.
the internet forming. It was interesting.
Yeah. No, it was. See, like that's when I was an adult seeing that stuff,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of a little older,
Yeah.
teenager / adult, and I just was there in the '90s before no fucking cell phones ever existed. No one had to get connected, which is the weirdest thing
Mhm.
to experience because like that was normal.
Mhm.
But versus now, which is crazy.
Now I think the generation shift is going to be between this new generation that like plays games online, and I think it's going to shift to like for the VR generation or something.
See,
you
I don't
know?
know. This stuff still blows my mind because I look at like I always think of like 'cause I was born in 1987, and I think of people that were born 1887. All the stuff they saw, if they made it to the 80s, if I live 100 years, if I make it to 2087, if that ever happens, that'd be fucking crazy. I can imagine what that world's gonna be like. Because
Nah.
if see how much things advanced just from 1887
Mhm.
to 1987,
Mhm.
so much fucking happened.
Yeah, I think there was somebody that actually lived that long time
Yeah.
period, and they saw the invention.
Other people
of
that lived almost 120 years.
shit. They were when they were born, they were horses, and then they saw the invention
Yeah.
of the car, and now there's
Yeah.
a Tesla. So they saw it going from horses to electric cars,
Well,
self-driving.
Well, what's crazy, is my
Crazy.
mom, I lived on the same property where she grew up. She said when she was a kid, there was this little old lady that she was telling her the stories all the time when she was here. It was all a dirt roads. Even when my mom was a kid, it was a dirt road that she remembers coming out in a wagon. On horseback,
That's
everything.
crazy.
And that was all pioneer people.
That's
so then when they
crazy.
settled here, there was fucking no one here.
That's crazy.
I was like, damn. That wasn't that long ago. If that was an old lady and my mom was
That's
talking to her as a
freaking
kid,
crazy.
I'm like, that's.
Man, they should make like a show where you have like 100-year-old talk to. No, wait, that wouldn't make sense. I was about to say 100-year-old talk to a 1-year-old.
What? And then one year.
Because I wanted two people at the opposite ends of life.
Yeah.
You know, a person at the end of their life
Well, you
talking
could
to
have like
a
a
person that's new.
Well, you could have like
Maybe like-
100-year-old where that's her first grandchild, and then they still help raise it and talk to her until
Yeah.
the kid's about 15, and then they die 15 years later, and then that's when they
Yeah,
have their
yeah,
journey
yeah,
and they're
yeah.
old. Well,
I guess,
I
yeah.
guess that might be sort of
Yeah, I
interesting.
guess,
yeah.
yeah. I
They
just
got a
think it
little-
would be cool to have some sort of show where you have people that reach the end of their life talk to like the new generation,
Yeah, they should.
and then 100 years later have that same person talk to the new generation.
Hey man, we
That's
should do a
gonna-
podcast. Let's talk to some
Yeah,
old people.
pretty
We should
much,
do an episode
pretty
with
much.
old people talking.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that eventually that's the goal here. Like, I want this to get more popular so we can have people on and talk to like different types of people and get like their perspectives on life.
Yeah, well, that's like let's say with Christian.
Yeah.
If they're having a show
Yeah.
play, that'd be cool to get them on there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
I would think there's lots. People have different perspectives. I think it's interesting to get how they view life,
Yeah.
what their situation, how did they get here.
Yeah.
Christian, he's also from Texas, where I'm from. How did he get here?
Yeah.
If he wants to talk about that, it'd be cool shit.
It
I'm
still
serious about
blows
that.
my mind that
Yeah.
you both are from Texas
Yeah.
and you both have like similar interests, play with like the same bands.
Yeah,
You
like
both somehow end up in Seattle.
it's weird. No, it's pretty weird.
What
like,
are the chances?
Like right when I started playing with this one band, Christian happened to be. Right when I stopped, that's when he started playing with that band because it was like
That's so
2017 when
crazy.
he was playing.
That's so
around.
crazy.
It was weird, man. It was really weird.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing.
Yeah.
I remember it's like when he was here with him and Ashley, they both were in the training together. They both started at Atlanta Press at the same time.
Really?
Yeah, which I thought that was strange. They were like, "Oh, hey, y'all both from Dallas," and they were like, huh? Looking at each other.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's pretty weird, man. It's a weird coincidence.
That's crazy.
And those are things I try to pay attention to. Like,
yeah.
when something stands
Yeah.
out, sometimes life is coincidence, mathematical. Things
Yeah.
are gonna happen,
Yeah.
but sometimes pay attention.
Mhm.
Like sometimes subtle things will happen, and they can be little nudges, and little doors will open that if you're aware,
Mhm.
it might help your situation. It may not. It may. Who knows?
Mhm.
But it's good just being aware of these small things that are out there. That is a strange thing. But when me and Christian were talking with you, how if you start following that intuition, that feeling,
Yeah.
you'll be surprised when doors open. You're just like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, hey, what? It's like it's weird these connection. It's one of those things that if you start seeing these patterns, things will start connecting, and it kind of is creepy that these little cogs. It almost feels like this is the Matrix.
I
We are just
know,
fucking
man.
cogs, man.
I
We're just
know.
ones and zeros. What the fuck, you know?
You know, I got a lot of
Damn.
I don't know. I just the way that if I'm just idle, my mind just automatically just starts thinking about DMT.
Yeah.
Starts thinking about. I just like question everything. You
yeah,
know.
dude, it's hard.
Yeah, but it's interesting how things are kind of like the Matrix. How things just pop up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like kind of like a sign that you should watch something. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that might be popping up for people is this podcast. You know. Yeah, that's the end of it. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. 2023. Today is the second. Yeah, it's the second. Wait, is it?
It's the first, man,
It's the
right?
first. It gotta be the first.
It's the first.
My
Wait.
dates are kind of been messed up recently.
Does it have a phone?
I literally just
Yeah,
bought
January 1st,
Okay,
New Year.
My
man.
dates have been messed up recently.
First.
I just bought a car because I got in a car accident and then
Oh, shit.
the repairs is like 7,000. So I just bought a car instead.
Yeah.
A used car. And
So the one you were driving?
what?
Wait, which one was the one you just recently had a wreck over the weekend or the ice?
No, the Camry that I was in, I got in an accident a couple weeks back. I think I mentioned it to you. That's the accident I'm talking about.
Oh shit. Okay.
So I just got a car over the weekend, and at the dealership on Friday, when I put the date down, I'm like, "Hey, it's the 31st, right?" And they even told me, "Yeah, but Friday was the 30th." You know? So I'm like, "Fuck!" Even the paperwork, I messed up the date. And I messed up the date on the podcast, but yeah, today is the first. Okay,
The
first day of the new year.
2023.
Yeah, man, new year, new podcast. I mean, it's kind of new podcast. Yeah, but yeah,
All right.
it's a new year.
New year.
I'm excited to see what happens, you know. Chris, one thing, I guess if you want to consider a resolution, it's this podcast. I work on it pretty much every day, posting clips and stuff. So I'm excited to see what happens to it this year because we are growing.
Yeah.
Our TikTok has like 36 followers now, which is
Oh,
pretty
shit,
cool.
alright.
You know,
Instagram.
Instagram.
These people.
Yeah,
Thank you for
Instagram.
listening.
Instagram like 26.
All right.
Yeah, so it's growing.
That's
You
good,
know,
man.
Yeah, it's cool. But yeah,
Hopefully
anyway.
people get something out of it. You
I hope
know,
so.
just
I hope
those
so.
conversations are good,
And then
man.
we get some good comments.
Yeah.
Even today, I know we're into this, but I'll just give a little tangent. I made a clip about, I think it was something you said about how, no, we were talking about old people and then at the end of your life, what really matters. And in the clip, we both were talking about how what matters really is people and the connections and stuff
Yeah.
like that, not money, not material possessions.
Yeah.
And when I posted that, someone commented saying, "Wow, this was a great video. You guys deserve more likes and followers because this video opened my eyes today."
Oh shit,
Yeah.
dude. That at least if someone's getting anything out of
That's
this,
why I
out of
like-
that really is cool.
That's why I like doing this.
Because
That's why I like doing this.
again, I'm always on the path, just trying to be a better person. It's
Yeah.
it's an everyday battle. Like I just learned one time ago, life is literally too short just to
Yeah.
be an asshole.
Yeah.
Like that's not serving anything. It's I get it. I mean, I want to just sometimes be an asshole, and sometimes it is called. Sometimes you need to be for certain situations.
sometimes
You know,
you
sometimes
gotta be
people,
a
yeah.
certain-
But it's also be aware, and like I know life is short. And it's like make the most of it. Like
Yeah.
if I can bring some minor joy in someone's life, help.
Yeah.
You know, we're all in this together. Life fucking sucks,
It does.
man. Let's all help each other out. Like we're all fucking trying to do it for ourselves. I'm like, I just wanna enjoy it as much as I can. You know, it's like if this is like my one shot to really enjoy whatever this form I'm in, great. I'm gonna try to enjoy it.
I agree. I
You know?
completely agree. You know, I genuinely believe this, that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you just gotta really try.
Yeah,
Put in
it's literally is like mind over matter. It freaks me out. I have thought things, and all of a sudden things have happened.
That's
I'm like,
crazy, man. I think you
freaks
got
me out.
powers, man.
No, but I
You
think
say you got
we
powers.
all have powers, but people think,
No, do we?
no, it's like it's in us. There is something it's fundamental. That's a part of being a human.
I think
That's
so.
there. It's just we lose control of it with fear, man. I think you have to have a healthy fear. Fear can be good and bad. Fear can drive. It can push, but it also can hold you back.
True.
You know.
True.
I think that's one of the biggest things is like learning how to control that. Is I really feel like we have so much in us that we are capable of, and I feel like we do lose track of that because of technology. We get lazy, you know. It's
Yeah.
easy to. It's easy. We have so many distractions, and that's what I'm trying to minimize. I'm like, what are there's healthy distractions and there's also bad distractions.
True.
And some healthy distractions can become bad distractions.
True.
It's just trying to find that
Balance.
healthy balance. It
Balance.
really is it. That is literally it.
Balance.
Balance in everything. You gotta find it and what works best for you because weed smoking for me is great. Some people I know when they smoke weed they can't. They immediately
Yeah.
have a panic attack.
Yeah.
And it's like they gotta figure out what
Figure out
works
what
for
suits
them.
you.
Yeah.
What suits you.
And sometimes people have there's transitions in life. Sometimes
Yeah.
we have to go through things because it's part of our transition so we can grow and get past this fucking hurdle.
Yeah.
And sometimes we gotta experience shit. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
I agree. But
Yeah.
I think that's just a human experience.
It
You got
is.
your ups and downs, bad and good, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, again,
It's a good talk.
thank you.
Yeah.
I think that kind of sparked a lot of things I want to talk about in the next podcast,
Alright.
which
Tune in.
which we're about to record.
Yes, tune in.
But that's the end of this one. Anyway, thanks again for
Yeah.
watching.
Thank you.
Broken Bear Conversations. We're on everything: Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
We're
Apple
everywhere.
Podcasts. Broken Bear Conversations. Check us out. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video of two guys talking.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Peace.